Hello everyone, my name is Enrique Castro Jr. My pronouns are he and him, and I am the president of Reading Pride Celebration. On behalf of our board and membership, I would like to welcome you to our National Coming Out Day celebration, or as we are calling it, Coming Out with Pride. For some time now, we at Reading Pride Celebration have wanted to bring you all a day of celebration where we can reflect on our coming out stories, celebrate those that have come out this year, but also encourage you to be there for our siblings who can't come out yet. Every journey is different. Some have harder roads than others, but even the hardest roads are easily crossed when we cross them with the support of our community. This year, during a time when we are all suffering the stresses of living through a pandemic and trying to get used to what is the new normal, we thought it more important than ever that although virtual, we find a way to come together and celebrate each other. We have collected coming out stories and well wishes from members of the community, all of which will remind you that our community is love and we're in this together. For many of us, although there have been many struggles, coming out was perhaps the most important and liberating decision we have ever made. Accepting oneself and learning to love oneself for who you are and being comfortable enough to share that with others not only helps us, but others who are struggling along that journey. 32 years ago, the first National Coming Out Day was celebrated with the thought that homophobia thrives in an atmosphere of silence and ignorance. The idea was that once people knew they had loved ones who are part of the LGBTQ community, they are far less likely to maintain homophobic or oppressive views. For some, it takes longer than others to change, but with each change comes new hope. Hope for each person coming out, for each person who has come out already, and for those who have yet to come out. Perhaps the most impactful is the effects our coming out will have on the future generations of LGBTQ people. I saw a message on Facebook today with an image of a child, and it read, "Mom and Dad, please don't let your assumptions build the closet that I'll have to come out of." Some kids turn out gay, and that's okay. As a father and a son, those words really struck me. Is my coming out, or yours, perhaps helping a relative or a coworker to understand that being gay is okay? Are we helping them to not build a closet for the children they have or may have one day? Will our coming out make it easier for someone who is already struggling with coming out to themselves? Both are very real possibilities. But maybe one day there won't be a closet to come out of. We'll just be comfortable with who we are, and the world will be as well. So today, on this National Coming Out Day, although we are virtual, I hope you enjoy the presentation. But most importantly, it's my hope that today's celebration helps you along the journey that we call life. Whether you have been out for years, come out this year, or aren't quite ready, we're here for you. We see you. Our journeys may be different, but we have crossed the same paths. We encourage you, take care of yourselves, take care of each other, and celebrate who you are every day. We're in this together, and our community is love. Happy National Coming Out Day.
everybody, this is your girl, Kamor Vixen. How y'all doing? Some of y'all know me as Jake as well. Kind of roughing it out. You like my Afro puff? Whatever, who cares? I'm sitting right here with the Sanderson sisters, okay? Bish. It's Halloween time. Anyway, coming out story, so here it is. Let's put this all out there. At the age of 14, I stopped caring what people necessarily had to say about myself. So that's key. And then I allowed my gayness to just open like the floodgates of rainbows. And hair got long, gay game got strong. 16, a lot more friends I've told. But it wasn't until 18 I officially came out to my mom, one of the most important people in my life. And here's how it went. So I had a boyfriend who we were dating for about a year and a half. I had a hotel room prepared. You know, we were going to do the deed, to say the least, because we were saving it to make it special. You know, lullaby stuff. Anyway, we had a house car. My sister had the house cars, like we all get to use the car. So my sister had the car. She dropped me off at the hotel room. I'm waiting on my boyfriend to get to Lancaster at the time, and he didn't have a cell phone. I did. How you doing? But he missed his train. So when he missed his train, I had no way to get in contact with him. So I'm like, okay. He finally called and said he'll be taking the last train. Now, so my sister goes back to the house, and my mom's like, oh, so Jake's friend's finally coming up here, right? I'd like to meet her. Why don't you bring her here? Her. And so my sister calls me and says, listen, Mom wants me to bring your girlfriend back to the house, or your friend, whatever. She said she wants me to do that. I don't know what to do. So I said, forget it, come pick me up. She picked me up. I went to the house. My mom's like this. She goes, so you have a girlfriend and she's coming up to see you? And I'm like, yeah. She's like, so what happened? Did she miss her train? And I was like, yeah, Mom, she missed her train. She'll be taking the last train. She'll get here around this time, around like 9:30. Oh, okay, so she'll be here then around, what? I was like 9:30. So she missed the train. Yes, Mom, she missed the train. So what time is he getting here again? I said, he'll be here at least by 10. And it slipped right out. It was kind of like a Bugs Bunny cartoon, you know, and it's like, no, yes, no, yes, yes, no. One of those scenarios. And so when I went up, it just came out of my mouth. My purse fell right out of my mouth then and there. And my mom just looked at me and said, honey, it's okay. It's all right. I've always known you're my son and I love you regardless. And that was just like, good. I could find a sigh of relief when she gave me a hug. And she said, baby, I knew you were going to be gay since you were an infant. And I had this dream that Prince was decorating the nursery. And from then on, I knew you were going to be gay. And I was like, well, shout out to Prince. But that's my coming out story. And then my mom also said, she said, what you are going to do is still bring him here. I need to question him and see if he is suitable for you. I need to make sure that he's good enough to date my son. So, unbeknownst to my boyfriend, I pick him up from the train station. He gets in the car and I said, hey, just so you know, I just came out to my mom and you're going to meet her. And he's a very light-skinned Puerto Rican dude, and he just turned hot pink. He was just flushed. And then took him to the house, and she gave him the 52 questions, laid everything out on the table, and she was like, I like him. So that's pretty much how it went with my coming out story. My grandma knew before her. She was another important person in my life. So my advice to you and the moral of the story is your mom and family probably already knows. Okay? You might be in the closet, but I got a glass door. And when you come out, normally they're going to be like already anticipating it, but they're waiting for you to come out. No rush, but come out whenever you feel comfortable. And hopefully your family or mother is and are as understanding as mine was. So, happy Halloween, and don't forget to vote. I'm coming now. It's all about this, babies. Love. Love yourself. Because if you can't love yourself, how in the you gonna love somebody else? Can I get an amen? Bye.
Hello everyone, my name is Timothy Nye from One Love Project, and my pronouns are he, him, or his.
So Timothy, what age do you came out?
It was 20 years old, yep.
20, and how do you did it?
So I was in college and I was dating my first boyfriend, and we were about a year in, and I just decided it was the right time, and I wrote a letter home to my mom because I was too much of a baby about it. So I wrote a letter home to my mom got the letter, and she called me a week later, and she's just like, do you want to come home and watch Magic Mike with me? Because it was a bonding experience, but yeah, we did it. And yeah, that's what it was.
And the rest of your family, how they react to that?
Of course they said that they were shocked and everything. My one brother was like, oh, I knew you were in the closet. But they all say that all the time, so it's whatever. But overall they were shocked, they had their cry, and actually it was a really good experience for me because it opened their mind to what the outside world is, what they were used to. So it was good.
There's any advice that you can give to people that are in the closet right now?
I would have to say just be true to yourself. I know everybody has their own life situations with religion and everything, so many other factors besides that also. So I would just say just be true to yourself. The people that love you will stay in your life. Bye everyone.
My name is Amber. My pronouns are she or they, and I'm bisexual, married to a man, and I'm a mom. Unless I specifically choose to come out, even at pride events that I help plan, I'm assumed heterosexual unless proven otherwise. I have a lot of privilege passing as a heterosexual person, and it would be easy not to come out. Bi folks make up the largest demographic of the LGBTQ+ community, but are often invisible. This can lead to mental health issues, among other things. Coming out is the single most important and effective thing that we can do to help our community. There's nothing wrong with having privilege in and of itself, but there is something wrong with squandering privilege that you could use to help those less fortunate than you. If you are able to come out, please do so. Come out with pride, because our community is love.
Is a hopeless jumble, and the raindrops tumble all around. Heaven opens a magic lane. When all the clouds darken up the skyway, there's a rainbow highway to be found. Beating from your window pane to a place behind the sun, just a step beyond the rain. Somewhere over the rainbow, way up high, there's a land that I heard of once in a lullaby. Somewhere over the rainbow, skies are blue, and the dreams that you dare to dream really do come true. Someday I'll wish upon a star and wake up where the clouds are far behind me, where troubles melt like lemon drops away above the chimney tops. That's where you'll find me. Somewhere over the rainbow, bluebirds fly, birds fly.
Mi nombre es Jonathan y hoy voy a hablar de mi salida del closet. Eh, yo salí del closet cuando tenía unos 15 años. Eh, para ese entonces todavía vivía en Puerto Rico. Y poco a poco comencé a salir. Comencé a salir desde escuela intermedia, pero yo no lo pienso así. Yo lo marco desde que le dije a mi mamá. Eh, Comencé a salir de closet con mis amigos eh, y específicamente la primera vez que realmente dije que era gay, lo dije a través de una carta, mientras también explicaba que tenía mucho miedo y que para ese entonces tenía tanto miedo que pensaba en la posibilidad de hacerme daño, porque tenía mucho miedo de lo que dijeran mi familia. Para ese entonces enfrentaba mucho bullying, mucho acoso por mis compañeros de escuela, mis compañeros y compañeras. Eh, Así que si esa era mi experiencia con las personas con las que yo estaba todos los días, no quería imaginar lo que iba a ser en mi casa. Em, Sin embargo, eh, poco a poco fui entendiendo, yendo a psicólogo, debido a que mi familia se enteraron de que yo tenía tendencias suicidas. am, Entendieron que yo necesitaba ayuda profesional. Así que la primera vez que yo fui a una psicóloga fue por eso. En ese momento ellos no sabían por qué. Así que eh, la psicóloga me ayudó a entenderlo. Tuve suerte de que en ese momento me encontraba en mi familia de la religión católica. En ese momento yo me encontraba tomando clases para realizar mi catecismo. Eh, y cuando tocó la hora de confesarme, me tocó un sacerdote que me dijo, hay gente que nace y hay gente que se hace, pero los que nacen no hay nada que los pueda cambiar y no deben ser rechazados y todos deben ser amados y merecen amor o algo por el estilo. Lo cual me ayudó mucho porque también pensaba que iba a ser rechazado en la comunidad religiosa, lo cual pasó, pero ya en ese momento yo tenía un cuero un poco más duro. Pero anyway. Am, Cuando llegó el momento de decirle a mi mamá, como dije, yo tenía 15 años y decidí hacerlo porque yo quería que mi experiencia fuera diferente, quería ser diferente, quería dejar el pasado del bullying, quería, quería ser yo. Y recuerdo, lástima que no lo tengo ahora mismo, pero recuerdo que me atreví a comprarme un corazoncito con la bandera de arco iris y esa fue mi salida del closet en la escuela. Am, en cuestión de con mi mamá, fue bastante, mami, necesito hablar contigo. Soy homosexual. Llantos, un ambiente muy intenso. Sin embargo, todo salió bien. Yo reconozco el privilegio de que yo tuve, donde no enfrenté rechazo eh, en mi círculo cercano, en mi support group. Am, Así que yo reconozco ese privilegio y esa suerte que tuve. Em, sí pasaron cosas en, en la escuela, en mi vida personal, familiares que quizás no querían lidiar con la situación. Mi mamá me aceptó, nada más importaba. Em, No importaba realmente quién estuviera o quién no estuviera. Mi mamá me aceptó. Y, y aunque fue bien difícil, la situación, yo no tenía las herramientas para ayudarla, ella no tenía las herramientas para ayudarse o para ayudarme a mí. Eh, Nos tomó muchos años, pero llegamos a ese punto donde ella es parte de mi vida y yo soy parte de su vida y yo tomé esa decisión porque necesitaba hacerlo, porque yo necesitaba preparar a mi familia para el futuro. Y mi futuro es ser un hombre cisgénero, abiertamente gay. Y lo hice. Y me costó, pero lo hice. Y he visto los frutos de mis esfuerzos, tanto con mi familia, con mis amistades, como conmigo mismo. Sin embargo, yo nunca le voy a decir a nadie, tienes que salir del closet, tienes que hacerlo. Mm-mm. Quienes lo hacen por diversas razones. Pero si lo hacen, háganlo porque ustedes quieren y no porque alguien más los está obligando. Esta es su vida. Ustedes conocen lo que hay en su vida. Vayan con eso. Confíen en ustedes mismos. Busquen ayuda, busquen support. No están solos, no importa lo solo que se sienta. Y sí, en muchos momentos vas a tener que tomar la decisión estando solo con tu familia. Pero en mi caso al menos yo sabía que tenía un amigo a quien llamar. No están solos. Y cuesta arriba, pero se puede. Y se puede ser feliz.
Hello everyone, this is Angel Gonzalez from One Love Project, and this is my story how I came out.
So, Angel, what age did you come out?
I came out when I was 17.
Okay, and can you tell us how you did that?
I went to a festival with a guy that I was talking at that time, and we took a picture of both of us together kissing. So I was forced to tell my family after he posted that picture on Facebook. All my friends and family saw the picture. So Saturday after church, I told my family that I'm gay.
Oh my goodness, you're crazy. What was the reaction?
The reaction was crazy at that moment, of course. It wasn't the right time to tell my family after church that I was gay, but right now we have a good relationship.
Well, that's good. What was the, not the reaction, like what's your advice to like viewers and everybody?
My advice definitely is to love yourself, be proud of who you are, and be kind to yourself and honest. Because without loving ourselves, there's not much that we can do. So love who you are. That's my advice for you guys, and see you guys around.
Hello everyone. A brief disclaimer that I've been saying recently, that I was diagnosed with Bell's palsy, and as a consequence, I'm still challenged by some pronunciation. However, the most important thing today is that it's National Coming Out Day, which has been celebrated for over 3 decades. However, only recently we have seen some social progress, allowing many more to live out proudly. Unfortunately, not all LGBTQ plus members worldwide enjoy this privilege. Fear, insecurity, persecution, and homophobia remains a reality. Here in Reading, we strive and advocate for everyone to be treated equally and have the same opportunities. Today, I celebrate, especially with you that have decided to come out and allow us to know you genuinely. If you don't feel comfortable coming out yet, we love you and support you too. There's still a long way to go, and you are not alone. In fact, you don't have to do this alone. We are your allies, and we are on your side. We are your extended families, and we are here to let you know that we love you as you are. that we are proud of your courage by coming out, and many of us believe, in fact, I believe, in a world where no one has to fear to live its true identity. I want to live in a world where no one will ever need to come out ever again. Just be. Thank you for blessing us, Reading, with your grace and your presence. It's an honor to stand here before you virtually. Please know that I support you, and I am very proud of everyone in our community. I need every member of our community in order to continue building a better Reading together. Happy National Coming Out Day, everyone. God bless you today and always.
Hi everyone. My name is Jonathan. I use he and him pronouns, and I'm part of Reading Pride Celebration as the DEI officer. And this is...
I am Amber. My pronouns are she or they, and I'm also part of Reading Pride as the secretary.
And they're amazing. We would like to talk a little bit about coming out. Like, what is that? And is that really necessary?
Should I do it? How do I do it? Who do I do? Is it a once and done?
So, coming out is such a personal experience that, LGBTQIA folks sometimes need to go through. And I say sometimes because some of us and some of them and some of the community, inside the community, they don't have to come out, which is so amazing for our community, especially because that means that they were supported. They didn't have to go through what some of us had to go through to finally reach out that place in our lives where we can just stand proud and just say, this is who I am. So Amber, yes.
I was gonna say, like, even if you are like out and proud to yourself, even, throughout your life, every time you meet a new person, you have to make that calculated decision. Is this someone that I'm going to come out to? Do I need to come out to them? Do I want to come out to them? How often are you going to talk about it? Is it out loud and proud all the time? Or is it just like one of the many things that you add into as you introduce yourself to someone? So it's a very lifelong process. And we hope that it gets easier as time goes on. For some folks, it does. For some folks, it's a struggle all the time, depending on where you live, where you work, your faith community. So coming out is a big deal, and we are here to try to support you through that.
Exactly. And, there's so many ways to come out. You come out to yourself. Sometimes you come out to your friends. Other times you come out to your family. Sometimes you come out to strangers.
Yeah.
And there's so many different ways. You could do it via text, via call, in person, on Zoom. You can do it in different ways and in different aspects of your life. So if you're thinking about coming out, what are things that maybe you could do to make the process a little bit easier?
Well, deciding to come out is a really important decision. So I would say the first step is to think about people you're closest to, who you think would love you and support you and accept you no matter what. And then those people can be kind of your practice round, and they can help you figure out how to come out to maybe that next circle out, not so intimate to you. And this is, let me rewind. This is actually a bigger decision for young people who are still living at home, because those people in your inner circle who love you and support you, you have to suss it out with them to make sure that they are going to support you no matter what. When we say it's really important to come out, we're talking about grown and sexy folks like ourselves who pay our own bills. But if you're at home and coming out could possibly lead to abuse or isolation or homelessness, you don't have to come out yet. This isn't for you. It's not your time, and it's okay. We want to make sure that you're safe first. That's the number one.
Exactly. So while you're considering all those things, let's plan ahead. how do I come out to them? What should I say to someone that I want to come out to? What should I expect them to say? Is there a way to prepare the scenario before I come out? Especially if you are planning to come out to the people in your family, is this a safe place? Have you heard about something that they've said in the past? Can you say or do little things to test the waters, which could actually be the next step? I actually like that step because it's almost like putting snippets, just like, hey, what do you think about this? Or especially when we were watching TV and now on Netflix, like let's watch a show. Oh, there's a queer character. What do you think about them? What do you think about that decision? That could be a nice way to kind of have a taste of what to expect.
Like a little segue, a little tester.
Exactly.
I think also, if you're going to come out to someone who you're not sure, like you've put out the feelers and like maybe they're going to be okay, maybe they're not, it's a great idea to have some sort of strategy or plan with how you're going to deal with that. So if you're thinking about, say, coming out to a parent or a guardian that is iffy, maybe the first person, even before them, is a peer or a trusted adult at school or somebody that, you can scurry to that will help you lick your wounds after if someone has hurt your feelings or rejected you in some way.
Exactly. And when we are in school, we at least have a good pool of adults that you can choose from. You have social workers, you have counselors, you have teachers, you have even janitors that not necessarily are teaching you or with you every single day, but they're there. Maybe, you never know where you can find a trusted adult that you can talk to. So just be on the lookout. Who can be an ally for you at that moment? And, practicing, makes the master. You can check, okay, how about if I come out this way? If I say this, if I do that, how does that person, react? And that's something that we can all do, actually.
I also think that depending on how comfortable you are, you might want to speak to somebody in person, but sometimes it's better to write like a letter or an email, because when you're talking face to face, sometimes there can be distractions. Your nerves can get the better of you and you don't get your words out the way that you want them to, or somebody's first reaction might not be the reaction that they really want to give you, but they do this freak out, fight or flight thing. And maybe if they were able to read what you wrote to them, it would be a gentler, more measured response.
Mm-hmm.
So,
especially when people write letters, it allows the other person to reflect on what they're reading. And it's not just gonna be a reaction. It's gonna be a reflection, because if they want to answer by writing back, they actually have to think about that. So at least they should put a little effort in their response.
Yeah, and I would say that the response that you get back after someone has had some time to think about it is probably going to be closer to their real feeling. Think about when you come out to someone, how long you've been thinking about that for yourself, right? It might be months or years, and you've had that time to kind of think about who you truly are. During that whole time, the person you're coming out to has built up a different you in their head. And so your revealing your truth can be like a sort of a shock thing to them. And sometimes it just takes some time for them to adjust. So I urge you, even if your feelings are hurt, to give folks a little bit of grace, a little time to just take it all in.
Yeah, especially because not all of us are equipped with the tools to to take information and not just react from the get-go. A lot of grown-ups just have issues understanding a different point of view because it wasn't taught to them. They didn't learn it. So they will actually have to put effort into understanding this new reality in their lives. Not everyone, thinks about why the grass is green, why two people are in love and decide to marry. And something those people may be from the same gender, different genders, or they may not have a gender at all.
Sometimes negative reactions are based on ignorance. And so then maybe you can tolerate some of that ignorance for a minute and get them some reading materials, do some educating, tolerate the dumb questions for a limited amount of time. Sometimes those negative reactions are based on fear. Someone who loves you very much, and now they think because they know this new thing about you that they have associated in their head with negativity that, oh my gosh, bad things are going to happen to you. And again, that's about some conversation and some education to maybe calm their fears and make them feel a little better. I will say, though, I wouldn't tolerate the dumb questions indefinitely. The real power a young person has over, the grown-ups in their lives is your presence in their life. And so there will come to a point when you are grown and sexy and paying your own bills, and then you can say to those adults who may not accept you, well, you need to accept it because that's who I am. And if you don't accept me, well, have a nice day. And that's your power. So your power can be reclaimed. It just might take a little while.
Yeah. And, you're not even in that moment when you decide to come out, maybe during that moment, you might be alone because you decided to say it in your room, in the living room. But be sure to reach out to people before and after, because you don't have to be completely alone, and talking from my personal experience, I decided to, it took me 2 tries, actually. The first one was like, I need to talk to you about something, but, the floor is dirty. But the second time, I went through it. But before and after, I had a friend waiting for me. A friend that was just with their phones in their hands, waiting for me into the other side. So I knew that in that moment, I decided to go through it alone, but not completely alone, because I had someone to reach out to and who was gonna say positive things and who was gonna support me, in any way, no matter what happened. So, have a safety net, have people that will hold your back while you're doing it, even if they are not present at that time. It's your decision.
And I think that even if you can't think of someone in your personal circle right now who can be your backup, your emergency, escape plan on your phone, there are other organizations, both locally and nationally, that can kind of be that friend in your back pocket if you need them.
Exactly. Like.
So in Berks County, we have a lot of great resources. In my other life, with my other hat, I work for Planned Parenthood Keystone, and we sponsor 3 LGBTQ youth programs, and one of them, called The Spectrum, happens here in Reading. But there's other ones too. If there's ones that meet on different nights that make you happy, some of them are virtual right now. So we will share a link to that resource for you too. There is also a youth group at the LGBT Center of Greater Reading, which is a great resource. What else do you know about, Jonathan?
Well, I kind of know because of my other hat that Berks Teens Matter is a safe place and a safe organization for teens to come up to. And I actually run the HRC, the Health Research Center, which is a safe place for teens to come and ask questions and have conversations and maybe find the support that they need, not only to come out, but to learn about anatomy, about gender identity, about sexual orientations, about relationships, about consent, about sex in general and sexuality as a whole. So, there are so many resources for youth and sometimes also for adults, because, the LGBT Center has a couple of programs for adults. And although I'm not sure if we have a PFLAG chapter in, at least in Reading or in Berks, you can probably check out online and be in contact if you're a parent and you want to be there for your LGBTQ plus team.
Absolutely. And there's also, if you had a really bad experience coming out, there are some places that can help you through a crisis. Like I think the Trevor hotline also has a chat program, also has online youth programs. There's just a lot of really great resources that we are happy to share with you. And we'll drop them in a place where you can find them. But I also want to say 100% the Board of Reading Pride, we're approachable. And if we can't help you, we will find out who can.
Exactly. And, more than an organization, more than people holding different hats, we are in our personal lives. And I know I can say this with, as confident as I can, Amber, me, Enrique, our now president, all of the board, all the people in these organizations, we work for the community. Reach out to us, even if it's individually. You don't have to see. It's great if you see us as an organization, but if you need someone, if you need a person, if you need just an ally that can be there, you can reach out to us individually. We're here for you, and we're not gonna tell you, you have to come out. You need to come out. We're gonna tell you, you are the most precious person in the world. We love you. We're here for you, and we just want to see you happy, and we want to be with you in this in all this process. So reach out to us, however you can. If it's online, if it's by text, if it's by email, if it's by a letter, just let us know. We're here for you, and we want to be here for you. And maybe we will make mistakes, but we're definitely will be sure to fix those mistakes, work with us, and be there for you. So please.
But you're absolutely correct. When you see us out there holding flags on the bridge, or when we throw together our pride festivals, please know that that's for the folks who are ready to be out and proud and getting down with us. But more importantly, those pride festivals we put together are for those of you who are not yet able to come out. We are doing what we can to make this a safer place for you. We want to normalize and celebrate so that someday our great grandbabies don't have to come out. We're all just beautiful colors of the rainbow.
Así que, I'm sorry, I just went right to Spanish.
We're here for you too, my Latino friends.
Reach out and celebrate who you are, even if it's within yourself. Pride is yours. So have a nice coming out day. Bye.
Hey guys, it's me, Zeke. So Jake just recorded a video for his coming out story. And I thought, well, why the hell not? I'm just going to do it too. So I just wanted to share my story real quick and give you some of the reason why I came out. But I think it takes a lot for me to be able to talk about this, but I wanted to share with you. I came out for the first time at the age of 14. I did not actually come out myself. My mom caught me talking to my first boyfriend over the phone. and it did not go well. They suffered a lot. I went through a lot, but making a long story short, I decided to delay the fact that I was gay and sort of follow their steps, because I did not want to break their hearts. That's a picture of my parents right there. And so years go by. I come from a very religious family. My parents are ministers. Most of my family are ministers. So moving forward, a few years later, I got married, had children, and at the age of 30, closer to the age of 30, I realized it was just not, I was not going to be able to escape ever the fact that I was gay. So I decided to come out fully at the age of 30. And I realized that I had made a mistake at that point, because what held me back was trying to keep my parents from being hurt, and I did not want to disappoint them. But then I realized at the age of 30 that now it was going to be a lot more difficult, because I was not only disappointing and breaking the hearts of my parents, but I was also going to be breaking their hearts. And so that's what happened at the age of 30. I came out, I told my ex-wife, this is my reality. I had to tell my children, this is my reality. And they have accepted it, but it's taken a long time. In addition to that, I was a minister, so I ended up breaking the hearts of an entire congregation. And their tears are going to be with me forever. I can't escape it. So I wanted to just take a few minutes to talk about this. And to the younger people, I wanted to let you guys know, it's whatever's holding you back now, it's not going to change. If anything, it's going to get more difficult down the line. So don't wait. Don't wait. It's only going to make it more difficult. You're going to end up breaking more hearts if that's what's holding you back. Just do it. Live your truth is the best. And now after I made the decision a few years later, I have to say I don't regret it. I regret making so many people disappointed, but it is my truth. There was no way to escape it, and I couldn't change that. So just wanted to share that with you guys.
Happy National Coming Out Day to all of my LGBTQ brothers, sisters, and everyone out there. Today is not only a great day to celebrate those who are out of the closet and public about who they love and who they are, but it's a beautiful day to remember there are some of us who aren't yet out. So tonight, even if you're just an ally of ours, please join me in wearing rainbows out in your towns and your cities. If you're here in America, then please wear some rainbows at your local football game and show to our kids out there how normal it is to be LGBTQ. And to those members who are questioning who they love or who they are, please be sure you're in a safe place in your life with your family and your friends before coming out to them. But more importantly, I need you to know that you are perfect in every way. But if your parents throw you out for being gay, which for some stupid reason is perfectly legal in this country, please know the number of Have a Gay Day, who will help you in that specific situation. And if you're a member of the LGBTQ community and considering suicide, please know the number of the Trevor Project. Your life is worth living. You are perfect in every way, and you are perfectly normal for having these feelings. And in case no one else says it to you today, know I love you just the way you are, and there are millions of us in the community who will be right by your side to help you on this completely normal journey through life, loving whoever you want to, and being the person you were always meant to be.
Hey guys, so my name is Joanne Sosa. I go as she and her. I am a trans woman, and this is my coming out story. So question number one is,
when did you decide to come out?
So I decided to come out by the age of 13, 14. Yes, I was still a teenager and I was still confused. And I just needed help. And I kind of got help back in high school. And that's when I realized what I kind of was, even though I still was young. So,
How did your parents handle your coming out?
I was a little confused, like I said. I got to tell my mom how I felt. She kind of cried for a little bit. So me and her kind of got help together. We kind of got closer. Me and her decided to speak to my dad about me coming out, and just little by little, just starting accepting me. And ever since then, I've just been a great child. So question number 3 is,
What advice do you have for people who are planning on coming out?
so my advice to people that are coming out is just no one is ready to come out. There's not a time. I feel like everyone is ready when you feel like you're ready to come out. So there's not a day, there's no pressure. I just feel like that day will come naturally, so you don't have to force it and you don't have to fight it. Just let it be, and just let it be natural. And the more natural you are, it's like, who cares? You know, just be yourself and love yourself. And that is my advice that I have for everyone. And happy coming out day month, I guess. So love. Mwah. Bye.
Hello, my name is Carlos Vasquez. We're doing a coming out video, so I want to tell you the story how I came out. Sorry if I look like a mess. Rough day at work. But anyway, it's hard to explain. I guess a part of me growing up, I always felt a little different. I was the type of person who believed in stories, and I was trying to be that person in the story, that the one who can slay the dragon, the one who wanted to be the knight in shining armor, the Prince Charming. I always wanted to be that person. But then when I was growing up, I realized I was more attracted to that than I was with the princess. I was more attracted to trying to become that person. So I guess that's how I started liking men. When I came out was about 22. 22, yeah. It's when I came home from college, and just like everyone else, I was soul searching, figuring out what I like and dislike. And it was a hard. People say a stranger or a family member will take it harder, but the worst feeling in the world will be you. Your worst critic to yourself. It was hard for me to accept that the thing that I always knew will change my world completely. I remember it was hard for me to say the words at first. My father, God rest his soul, he was the first person I told. He was the person who I told first before I told anybody, my mother, my sister, anybody. He told me first to figure out who you are. And then, when you really found your then let me know. I remember I told him that when I was in my late teens. He wanted me to enjoy high school, in his own word, normal. That was him. He was an old-fashioned guy. He was always macho. He was always, the guy, manly man. But he wanted me to enjoy high school in the traditional way, not in a non-traditional way. In a way, I would say thank you to that, because before we go into the world, you have to see it in traditional, and then when you ready to be non-traditional, then that's when you realize, I'm not a non-traditional person. I like things to be different. Free, open.
outgoing. So there is some learning into that. So I was happy for my father to teach me that, because through those experiences, it will help me to realize that it's all about journeys that helped you become. I remember coming out to my mother. It was hard for 2 years for the family to adjust to that. There were certain members of my family who don't talk to me anymore. There's people who say I was weird, and then some people say, oh, it's just a phase. But I was the first one in my family on both sides to come out. I don't regret it, because it makes me see people in a different way. It makes me appreciate life in a different way. So I hope that if you are the next generation who's trying to come out, before you come out, figure out who you are as a person. Who do you want to be? Find the root of who you are. I already know who I want to be. I want to be courage, honest, and kind. That's who I am. And when you find that, you'll grow from it, and that's what's coming out to me. Be open to who you are, and who do you want to be. And thank you for watching.
Hello, everybody. My name is Michaela Gavelets, producer and director of Pottsville's inaugural Pride Fest this year. I've been asked to talk about the topic of coming out, which is a huge step in everybody's life. It isn't easy to prepare for, much less actually go through the process. Your fears and your concerns are legitimate and are certainly felt by everyone who's ever had to go through it. But your fears are based on the unknown. That unknown isn't always negative. Some very beautiful moments can derive from this experience. Staying strong in your journey, your convictions, and your ambitions are some of the keys to your success. Perhaps do a little research about other people's experiences, and that'll help you to prepare for your very special and crucial moment in your life. You must certainly prepare for and consider other people's feelings when you make your announcement. Surely there's going to be some questions, perhaps some misunderstandings, but never count out the fact that you may experience the most cherished result, which is the love and acceptance that we all hope for. I'd like to go back to a point that I made earlier, and that's about the fear of the unknown. When I moved back here from Southern California nearly 10 years ago, I went back into the closet. I didn't know if I would be employable, if I would be bullied, if I would lose friends, be isolated, be ridiculed. Yeah, all of those concerns are legitimate. But for me, I found that it was all unsubstantiated. After about 7 years being here, I was more than ready to come back out of the closet. I needed to be authentic to who I was, to stick to my convictions and my journey. It was the best thing that I've ever done. I had gone to the management at my employer, and it was received most beautifully. I found that all of the coworkers were certainly happy for me and very supportive. And one of the most wonderful things that had happened, working in the public, people started to come to me and they wanted to hear my story. And they wanted to tell me theirs. They have an aunt, an uncle, a brother or sister, whoever. There are people out there who have somebody in the family who are just like us. After a year of being out and about, I decided it was time that Pottsville had their first Pride Fest. So, with the support of the public and the city officials, we were able to pull that off. The results were just so wonderful. I'm just so proud of my community and how they rallied behind me to help this happen. The funding, surprisingly enough, was approximately 90% based on allied contributions. Now that says a lot. It's about education. Those people who listened to my story, who wanted to hear more, and for those people who came to me with their stories, they wanted this for their children, for their families, members, and such. So, yes, nice things can happen when you come out. I hope that my story helps to inspire you and gives you the hope that you need to push along. Remember, being yourself will lead to your happiness and your well-being. Do it for yourself, because at the end of the day, it's your reflection looking back from that mirror. And it's much nicer to have a happy reflection than one that's not smiling back at you. Well, good luck in your journey, and keep that chin up. Keep the attitude positive. People feed off of those vibrations. Remember, smile and be yourself. I would like to thank Reading Pride for inviting me to do this video production. And I wish you all the very best of luck in your journey. And I wish you luck with your experience in coming out. Have a nice life.
Hello again, everyone. Thank you for watching our virtual Coming Out Day celebration. We truly hope you enjoyed the presentation and that listening to the coming out stories of members of your community helped you along your journey. If you came out today, we're celebrating with you in our hearts. Virtual hugs going through the camera here straight to you. And if you're not quite ready to come out yet, that's okay. We understand that. And we'll be here for you when you are. Remember that our community is love. We encourage you today and every day to celebrate who you are. Live your truth. Until next year when we get to celebrate again, happy National Coming Out Day, everyone.
Tell me why. to